Someone asked a question: how do I learn how to focus? So I'm going to share with you 3 tips, 3 points that you may want to consider if you want to learn how to focus. Because focus is no longer a practice we have today. And much of what the people that are more spiritual, they practice developing this focus. But how can you develop it more practically? I'm going to show you. My first tip to you is that it has been found, productivity group studies have found that parallel processing is far, far less effective than singular focused processing. Parallel processing is also known as multitasking. Yes, multitasking is far less effective than singular focused processing. What does multitasking look like in your daily life? Well, our culture has encouraged us to be more to do multitasking. That multitasking is a good thing. While you're doing one thing, you're checking the other thing, and you're doing multiple things at one time. And it's been found that it's not effective at all. And so what's the better way to do things? The better way to do things is to do one thing and to focus on that one thing, and you get more productivity by doing one thing and you finish it faster. The study that, it was a long, long time ago, 2008, 2009, that I looked up this study, but people who multitasked while trying to finish one project finished the project at a significantly longer amount of period of time than somebody who just worked on the project and they had and was more productive. And the reason was because that the mind could never get into this place called the zone, and it had to reset every time that it had to go back to the project. So you're working on a project, and then you go do this other thing, you parallel process, and then you have to go back to the project again, and then you have to reset your mind, start over again, and to get into momentum. So every time you go back and forth, you restart your momentum. But if you singular process, you focus on one thing, you build momentum, and you get into this thing called the zone. The zone is something that authors know about, creative people know about. If you're creative, you will recognize this. You're working on a project, and you've been working on it because you love doing it, and you haven't checked your phone, checked your email, you haven't done anything, you haven't eaten for the past hour because you're so focused on this one thing, and you get into this place called the zone where things flow out of your mind. And that never happens when you parallel process. So focus is a mental muscle. Think of it as just like any body part where you have a muscle you want to work out, such as your bicep. How do you work it out? You work it out by consistent use. And you remember the mantra, what you don't use, you lose. And so, Jax, you're wondering, Jax, how do I then develop, nurture, and make stronger my focus muscle? Here's how you do it. You utilize your ultradian rhythm. There are different rhythms in our body. The circadian rhythm is the rhythm of sleep. There's a rhythm where you wake up and you sleep, wake up and you sleep. There's also called the ultradian rhythm, which is it's rather than the circadian rhythm, which is sleep and wake cycle. The ultradian rhythm is little cycles throughout the day. The ultradian rhythm is a cycle of energy. So there's a cycle where your body has ample amount of energy, and then it has to rejuvenate and recharge, and then it has energy again. And it's been found that the ultradian rhythm, the energy bursts are 50-minute increments. 50 and 10, 50 and 10. In essence, you have a lot of energy in 50-minute increments, and in 10-minute increments, you have to rejuvenate and recharge, and that's the optimal use of your energy, of your body. People make up for it by drinking caffeine and energy drinks, but if you can utilize the ultradian rhythm, you can have energy throughout the day. So 50-minute increments. You plan out, you allot time for your project, whatever the project is. 50 minutes of singular focus. Put your phone away. What I do is I put my phone on the other room. I put my phone on silent. Actually, my phone is always on mute because nobody can contact me. 50-minute increments of singular focus. No parallel processing, no checking the email, just one thing. And you'll find you will get into the zone very, very fast. And the more you practice this, the more you develop your focus muscles. So, if you appreciate that, send me a message.